Now, after putting my drain pan back under the diff, we can remove the fill plug. Since I removed this earlier to make sure it would break free, it was easy to remove by hand. You are going to want to clean off the plug to remove any debris or metal shavings that may be on it. There aren't any big metal pieces on mine, so I know there was no damage from the leak. Removing all of the debris from the plug will ensure the magnet can work at its highest potential, so don't skip this step. I cut between 4 and 5 inches of clear tubing with 3/8 inch inner diameter and a 1/2 inch outer diameter. Before we get into why I chose this specific tube size, let's remove the cap and cut the end of the diff fluids bottle. You can use scissors or the sharp part of a pair of pliers like I am using right here. Oh, and if you don't use all of the fluid, you can just push the cap back on like this to store it for the next time you change your diff's fluid. Let's get the diff filled. You want to position the tube like this, and the reason you need between 4 and 5 inches of tube is because of the ledge right here. This is really the only obstacle that's in your way, but it's definitely in the way. Now push the tube onto the end of the bottle like this, and then you want to quickly push the end of the tube into the fill hole of the differential while you flip the bottle upside down. Kind of like that. But you also want to remove the seal under the cap or else nothing will come out. Let's try that again. Put the tube over the bottle's end, and then flip the bottle upside down while pushing the tube into the fill hole. There we go. Now we can see the fluid going into the diff. This fluid is pretty thick, so go ahead and squeeze the bottle to speed up the process. You can see the clear tube not only allows you to see the fluid, which is convenient in itself, but also fits very snug over the end of the bottle, preventing any fluid from spilling out. Now that's not the only reason why I chose this specific tube size for my truck. I bought a 10-foot roll off of Amazon for about $10, which is perfect because I will be using about 4 feet to fill my transmission fluid each time I fill it, so that means I can fill it twice, and another 4 inches for both the transfer case and the front differential. So a 10-foot roll with 3/8 inch inner diameter and a 1/2 inch outer diameter will be used multiple times for multiple maintenance items for my truck. All of that for about $10. That's a great deal. Now you want to keep squeezing it until fluid starts leaking out, just like that. I like to squeeze the bottle a little bit more after I first see it leaking to ensure it is really full and I did not accidentally pull the clear tube out too far by accident. When you start seeing the fluid drip out at a faster rate, then you know it's full and you can remove the bottle. The best way to check the fluid is to stick your finger in the hole and then see if any fluid touches it. As you can see, there's fluid on my finger, which means the fluid is at the correct level. So we are good to go. Now I'm going to wipe off the fluid that leaked out and then we can move on. Okay, so you want to apply some kind of thread sealant to the thread of your fill plug. I personally like the sealant from Permatex. Go ahead and remove the cap and then wipe the brush along the side because you don't need very much of it. You are just trying to very lightly coat the threads. When you start applying the sealant to the threads, don't overthink it. Just act like you are painting something, just like this. Once you get full coverage, go ahead and put the brush away and then use your fingers to really push the sealant into the threads. Now you can screw in the fill plug and get it finger tight. Before moving on, make sure you change out your gloves to prevent the sealant from getting all over your torque wrench. Now we can torque the fill plug down to 22 foot-pounds. And don't forget to use that 3-inch extension to help get to the plug. It's kind of awkward trying to keep the extension in the plug, so use your other hand to stabilize it if you need to. Perfect. Now you are done. Well, not quite. I drove around for a week without connecting the ABS line because I completely forgot about it. So make sure you put yours back in place. It's simple. You just need to push all 3 caps back onto the 3 longer bolts on the diff. Just like that. That's all there is to it. If you found any part of this video helpful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss a video from our channel. Thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next one.